Hello everyone. Sorry here. Thank you so much for joining me for our Kendra Card Challenge Super Sponsor Hop with Kraftin Kimmie stamps. Today I'm going to be creating a Halloween themed card using this stamp set here called Too Cute to Spook, which is filled with a bunch of cute mice dressed up in Halloween costumes, and then some little extra embellishments like the candy, the pumpkin and the candy corn that you can add to this as well, and some really cute sentiments. Along with this, I'm going to be using this stencil here. It is called Here for the Candy. That's quite fitting. And it is a double layering stencil, and I'm going to use it as a two-tone on colored cardstock. So that will be the pattern paper that I'm going to be using to create my card. And I'm going to be following sketch 11, which I will put in the corner once the card gets started. So don't need to worry about what it looks like right now unless you have it on hand. You can take a look. It is sketch number 11. So let's get started, and I will start creating the backgrounds. The cardstock that I'm going to be using today is a light pink and a light purple. I really like those two colors for Halloween. They're not your traditional, but they are definitely a very attractive modern color. And since there are two layers to this and the images are quite big, I figured I would bring in two pink colors, picked raspberry and spun sugar, and I'm going to use one on the first stencil and then the lighter on the second. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because the images are so big and simple that you will definitely see that it's two-toned, and it will be very obvious what it is as well. So it's just going to be a very nice technique. And you could do this with any colors. You can bring pastes in. Many ways you can do. I really love this stencil just because of the nice big bold images, and they're very simple. They're not too detailed. Like we have some gummy worms, some chewy candies, hard candies, and looks like some candy floss, and even some lollipops. So there you go. I'm just going to bring in my spun sugar. Now, I know you're not supposed to use the same brush for oxides and regular inks, but these brushes are just my seconds, so I'm not too worried if they damage, but I'm pretty sure if you just rub them off, it's not too bad. Now I am using the stamp wheel, but that's just because it has a nice sticky mat that I can stick my paper and my stencil to without having to worry about sticky sprays or tape or anything. If you don't have a stamp wheel but you have anything that's sticky, they all work, and it doesn't really matter as long as you can get the stencil and the paper not to move. So there we go, there's the first one, and then what I'm going to do is quickly do the purple, and for that I am going to bring in two other purples, which are also distressed inks, and one is violet, or wilted violet, sorry, and then the darker one is Villainous Potion, which is I'm using right now. I actually, because this color is so dark, I'm not really inking my brush that much. I'm just using the ink that I pulled off the first time, and I'm pretty much able to cover the whole image. Now, if you want it to be even darker, then obviously bring in some more ink. But I was happy with this. It's dark, but it's not too dark. And then once this is done, I'll bring in the second stencil and use the wilted violet over top. And it's going to look pretty much identical to the pink, except purple. I would like to take the time to thank Kraftin Kimmie Stamps for being a super sponsor. And what that means is that they provided some of the design team with some products to play with to showcase the sponsor, as well as creating some cards using the Sketches by Kendra Card Challenge. And not only do they do that, they also provide prizes to you guys. In this case, Kraftin Kimmie has donated a $20 gift certificate to their store. So if you play along, then you have a chance of winning that prize. And I'll get into that when I get into the coloring of this. But for now, I am done with my inking. And now I'm going to have it all cut off screen so that you don't need to see me cutting it. But essentially, I'm following sketch 11 and getting all the matte layers as well. For my sentiment, I'm going to be using the Too Cute to Spook using Fantasia colored ink from the Versaline Claire line. This ink is just perfect, especially if you want to heat set with some embossing powders. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to color this cute little mouse witch and some candies using some of my Olo markers. Now, the blend I'm trying today is quite different. Now, instead of using cool grays, I'm using the blue violet colors. I really like how this turned out. I think from now on, I might use that more than using the cool grays. I just find it just creates a nice, that purplish black. It's just perfect on this hat. And for the dress, I'm going to be bringing in the violets, and I'm going to start really dark and work my way to a much brighter color. Now I am coloring a little bit differently this time. I'm only focusing with the shadows really on the left-hand side. I'm just trying different things. Normally I put my shadow all the way around just because that's the way I like to color, but I'm going to try it a little differently. Now, while I'm doing all the coloring, and I'm hoping I'll show all the marker caps, but sometimes I don't, what I'm going to tell you now is how you can join in on this challenge. Kendra Card Challenge is a quarterly challenge, so we already missed July, so we're now in near the end of August, and then you have September. All you need to do is go to the Patreon group, download the PDF for free. You do not need to be a member. I believe you need to sign up for a free account, but you do not need to pay, and you get the free download. Follow those cutting guides in that using 6 pieces of pattern paper. And when you do that, you're going to take a picture of all your cards and you're going to post it to the Facebook group. That enters you in a chance of winning prizes. You do need to make sure you include your name and your country where you live, because some prizes do not go internationally. And that's pretty much it. I will put all the information in the description box below. And also, while I'm at it, I should say, while you're in the description, look for the form that you can fill out to have a chance of winning on this pop. And that is for a digital download provided by Cards by Kendra. Now you may be thinking, why would I want to share this information with anyone when I have a better chance of winning? Well, that is a very logical, sound idea, and you have the right to do whatever you like to do. That is okay by me. But if you think about it differently, think about it on the other way of, if there's more people playing, that means more sponsors will be interested, more prizes could be created, and this gets much bigger and bigger. So definitely, if you want to, share this out to the world, get as many people joining in, because there are so many prizes to be won. There's digital downloads, there's certificates, there's products, and there's always something happening. Kendra is being very active, and you want to join and be a part of it. It's quite exciting. And I'll finish off with this, that if you don't have time to make 15 cards in a month, that's okay. You can actually spread that out over the 3 quarters. You don't need to create 15 each month. If you do, your chances of winning prizes go up. You can also just create the first 5 cards in July, the next 5 in August, and then the last 5 in September. And if you post them in each month, you also have chances of winning. So like I said, there's so many ways of winning prizes, and it's just nice that it kind of fits everyone, because some people are busy, some people are not, so everyone really does have a chance of winning something. Okay, so as I was talking, I was putting this card together, and I am following the sketch almost identical. Since I'm using a colored cardstock for my base, I'm going to add my matte and layer inside there so that if I wanted to, I can write a message. Well, as I was gluing that down, I realized that my matte layer, the purple matte layer, is kind of cut wrong. It's a little wider on the one side, so I was able to lift that off. I dried the back so that I can use my paper cutter, and then I trim that off, and now we'll just glue that right back down. No one is the wiser. And I use the purple as the same color on the front because I only use a little bit of purple in the front, so tying it into the inside is a nice little touch, I find. Because this paper design is using such thick matte borders. I think this looks really fantastic on the black. I think black was the perfect choice for this sketch and design. And now I'm just going to start adding my elements. I'm going to cut all that out of the screen because we don't need to see me fussying with positioning. So once that's done, I'm going to grab some foam tape and just prop up my image, my little mouse image here. I find that I'm really being drawn to foam tape again, trying to create some little bit of dimension to the card. It really does make a difference when you add that because of that shadow effect. Now we're just going to finish off with adding these three little embellishments and then glue down the sentiment. And that's pretty much this card. I absolutely love this stamp set and stencil by Kraftin Kimmie. They are very fun to play with, and it just tickles my Halloween bone so well. I'm just so happy with how this turned out. And I definitely will try to find more time to color up all the other images because they are just really adorable. I do hope you enjoyed this, and I do hope that you enjoy the rest of the hop with the other design team members and see what they have created and get some inspiration there. So until the next time, have a wonderful, beautiful day, and I'll talk to you all later. Take care. Bye.